Hi everybody, good afternoon, and I welcome you all to the ARD current affairs series going on for the NABARD Grade A 2026 examination. And this is the last video that will be there, that is part 4 for July. And in these videos, we cover all the current affairs that can be asked in your ARD section, that can be asked in the multiple choice question format that you can utilize in descriptive answer writing or in general to understand like what are the things that are going on across in ARD sector in India. Okay, so starting off with what are the news that we are going to cover. So government, because see, abhi currently parliament sessions are also happening, right? So in that there are a lot of replies that are given to in the parliament, right, about different things. So government, they mention that what are the different AI use that they are doing in agriculture. There are certain apps that are mentioned in the news. There are certain missions that are mentioned in news. So basically we will talk about that. Okay, under the Digital Agriculture Mission. Next, CMFRI, they have launched Deep Data app, and if we see, especially for the NABARD exam, these apps, these portals, these are asked a lot. So that is why what is the new app that has been launched for the deep sea fish biodiversity? What will it do? We will talk about that. Next, government strengthened cold water fisheries in Himalayan and hilly states. So cold water means like these are the fishes, the species, fish species that prefer the cold water environment, and definitely in Himalayan regions those are that naturally exists, right? So now how fishery can be boosted not just in the coastal region but in the Himalayan region also. So for that government have are working on these things. What are the things that they're doing, we will understand. And finally about soil. So India, the soil that exists, how does it help the environment, all that we are going to talk about. Starting off with the first news, which is your government expands AI use in agriculture under Digital Agriculture Mission. Okay, so here basically again, as what are the different initiatives that are there under Digital Agriculture Mission, that was discussed. First of all, the use of our artificial intelligence in agriculture. So for the farm advisories, for the pest control, crop identification, crop insurance, and other special scheme benefit for delivery, government, they do the analytics, and whatever government analytics is needed for internal function, also for that AI is used. And apart from that, there are certain again missions, systems, portals that have been mentioned. First is National Pest Surveillance System. Okay, so under this, AI and machine learnings are used to identify the which pest infestation has taken place, and timely crop protection measures can happen. So in this National Pest Surveillance System, first of all it will identify what is the pest, and even it will see that how much destruction it has caused in the field. Is it again in the economic range, or is it in the destructive range, and then taking up the necessary actions. Okay, farmers and extension worker can capture and upload images of pests to identify the attack and reduce the crop losses. Okay, what type of insect is it is, what type of harm it can cause. Okay, all that thing from this particular surveillance system it can be identified. Another, even our meteorological department. So basically meteorological department or IMD, it works for what? It works for the for forecasting the weather. Okay, so IMD also using AI and location specific AI to deliver the location specific weather advisories for better decision making in agriculture. Okay, so these advisories help farmer to when to sow the seeds, when to irrigate, when to use the pesticide, or when to harvest, and whatever operations that needs to be take place. So even IMD is using AI for that purpose. Apart from that, we have this very beautiful concept of Bharat Vistar. Vistar has a full form. It is virtually integrated system to access agriculture resources. So basically it is a multilingual, means it can be accessed in many language, AI powered digital public infrastructure. Initially what happened, there were like for different government schemes or different knowledge which the government they want to share with the people, for that different portals were there. It is very hectic to for every information you go to new portal, right? So in this Bharat Vistar, what has done, it has integrated, and now 18 central government schemes, which are related to like crops or general information on livestock, weather, mandi prices, pest, etc., everything, it is at one place. That is a Bharat Vistar. So it is a AI powered digital public infrastructure that provides real time and location specific agriculture advisories, and it has all the information for different 18 government schemes, about knowledge about the different parts of the agriculture. Okay, Bharat Vistar is accessible through web portal also. There is mobile application also, AI chatbot also, and dedicated telephone line is also available in Hindi and English. And when we talk about chatbot and mobile application, that supports around 10 language. So it is to make things easier for the people. Okay, so that was for your first news. So these, maybe this whole news might not be that much of important, but these names like Bharat Vistar, what does it do? National Pest Surveillance System, what does it do? Right, these are important, and this is a very beautiful example that can be used in your descriptive answer writing. In fact, in your last exam of NABARD, there was direct question on digital agriculture mission. Okay, so these things helps, right, if you have basics of these things. Next is about your CMFRI, which has a full form, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute. They have launched this deep data mobile application. For what purpose? So see, the government is already focusing on blue economy, that is to utilize the resources in the water bodies that we have. Okay, now they have moved a step forward, and now they are focusing on the deep sea or the deep sea mission. Now, what is deep sea? Deep sea does not mean like vertically how much deep we go, but from the coast, okay, to how much deep inside the ocean. So that is like horizontal expansion we are talking about, right? Because still in nearby coastal regions, the this sector is still has been explored, because it is the it has always been the livelihood of the coastal region people, right? But deep inside we have better fishes that exist like tuna, etc., which have better market value also. And there is still need to have more research that what are the other resources that are present in deep sea and that can be utilized. Okay, वैसे it's about horizontal also, means vertical also, but not very in depth. We are not talking about एकदम base में जाना, but yes, that is approachable range where the resources can be utilized. ठीक है, तो both horizontal and vertical, but horizontal आपकी ज़्यादा थोड़ी. ठीक है, अब what happens in deep data? It is a mobile application that provides verified information on deep sea fish species found in Indian waters. ठीक है, and in this what will happen, the researchers those are involved, they can also, whatever they are finding, whatever research they are doing, they can upload all that information in deep data application. In this what will happen, it will act as a repository for all the information related to deep sea. Okay, and then people who are curious, be it students, be it other researchers, right, be it companies, whoever those are interested, they can also search for that information in this app. So it is like a library where people, they are adding new knowledge, and then other people who are curious, they are learning that knowledge. ठीक है, तो it acts like that. Application allows user to contribute field observation for creating a national digital repository, ठीक है, for the deep sea marine biodiversity. Currently it is just in Google Play, not on iOS, that is for Apple users. ठीक है, इसके अलावा users can access the photographs and details about taxonomy, identifying features, distribution, conservation status. So again, you can add information also, and you can you can receive information as well. Okay, so it is designed for students, researchers, fishermen, other people who are interested in deep sea resources. So both the cases, ठीक है, where field researchers, they are contributing observation, while the curious people, they can read that information. ठीक है, so application was developed by your CMFRI, which we have already understood, and it is developed under the Deep Ocean Mission with financial support from the Ministry of Earth Sciences. ठीक है, so that was your second news about deep data. Third is about government strengthens cold water fisheries in Himalayan and hilly regions. ठीक है, so as I said that we have fishes, species that prefer cold water environment, and there now people, they can increase or improve their livelihood by shifting to fisheries in Himalayan regions. So for that, a lot of model guidelines have been published, for example. And you know what other apart from that, new approaches that exist are also promoted now in hilly region. For example, recirculatory aquaculture system or the raceway system. What are these? Let me just show you an example. So in your RAS, that is recirculatory aquaculture system, basically the motive is that you are refining 90% of water which already existed for fishes. You are constantly clearing them physical for physical from physical impurity, and then you add chemicals also, so that any, if bacteria infestation or any microbe infestation has happened, that can also be removed. Then you add oxygen also to the water that you have refined, and then you again put up into the system. So if you look at, this is like a loop. Okay, so how it can work in the hilly region. So as we know that, here you would not have to maintain the temperature of the water. because that is what the fishes require. Okay, so this, as you can see, that unlike ponds which require a very long, very large space, they do not require that much, right? So it can be established in your home setup as well, not home like home, but nearby places. Okay, second, about your raceway culture. So in raceway ka meaning है, there are certain fishes that prefer fresh water only, they cannot remain in the stagnant water. So in raceway culture, the motive is that water should be in constant move. Okay, so that the fishes, they can survive in that particular environment. So raceway culture can be established in the hilly regions, as you can see in the picture. Okay, so recirculatory aquaculture system, raceway cultures, these things, hatcheries, feed mills, basically the places where food for the fishes will be made, disease control facilities, marketing linkages. Now these things will be developed in the Himalayan regions, hilly regions. Aim is to improve production, value addition, and marketing. Okay, that is a major motive. What are the important fish that exist, fish species that exist? So major are rainbow trout, golden mahseed, snow trout. These are some major examples. Okay, like यहाँ पे rainbow trout, you can see how it looks like, golden mahseed how it looks like, and snow trout how it looks like. Okay, so majorly is this, and these clusters, four dedicated cold water fisheries cluster will has been notified, which are in your Jammu Kashmir, Anantnag districts of Jammu Kashmir, Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand, Kargil district in Ladakh, and Kulu district, Himachal Pradesh. Abhi these four places have been taken up from different parts, regions of the Himalaya, and now the work will be done over there. It means implementation of these guidelines will happen over there. Okay, coming to the next, okay, so more about it, uses of emerging technologies, again just RAS, biofloc system. What is biofloc system? So as we have seen, because fishes, they are living in the water, they are consuming the oxygen, whatever waste they are excreting, they are dying, they are any part of the body, they are, it's getting removed, everything in that water which pollutes it, right? In biofloc system, usually what happens, like in RAs we have seen, right? So there is a proper channel that needs to be followed, where the water will be refined, and then it will be reintroduced into the system. In biofloc, what happens, there are certain bacteria, what they do, certain microbes, not essentially bacteria, there are certain microbes. What they do, that whatever waste that is generated by fishes, they feed on it and they convert it into protein rich food, which then act as a food for the fishes only. Okay, so biofloc system can are introduced. So these are the emerging technologies in fisheries that are there, which now we can implement in India, and especially when we are focusing on the cold water fisheries. Okay, cages, iOS based water quality monitoring, GIS map, all these things can be used. Okay, so that was majorly about it. Significance, improve fish production, employment, income diversification, value addition. Okay, that is the major thing. Now coming to the last news for today, it is about, about sustainable soil management. And why is it important? Because it supports the sustainable development goal. So there are 17 sustainable development goals. So second one is based on zero hunger. So this links, maintaining soil, or managing soil, doing soil management, leads to support SDG 2, which is related to zero hunger, and SDG 13, which is related to climate action. Okay, now there were some, these are all the static part of this particular topic on soil, but as soil and water conservation is part of your NABARD examination, so definitely we do recommend that you go through that. For example, where are alluvial soils usually present? Alluvial soils are present in your Indo-Gangetic plain, Brahmaputra, and river delta, where basically around river these alluvial soils are present. Okay, Khadar and Bhangar are two type which is present. Okay, and then black soils are usually present in your Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat region. They are rich in lime and calcium. Black soil is very good for your cotton. ठीक है, cotton के लिए अच्छी होती है. Red soils are generally porous and nutrient deficient. ठीक है, lateral sites are usually they are found in high rainfall and intense leaching regions, and desert, forest, hill, saline, alkaline, marshy soil support distinct crop system, like desert in the desert area, forest in the hill areas. ठीक है, all that. Apart from that, there are some other functions of soil, that it act as a carbon sink. Carbon sink bonds. So basically, in your soil, the plants, they grow, right? So their plant roots, they during photosynthesis process, they absorb carbon dioxide, right? And then they fix it, through roots they fix it into the soil. Apart from that, a lot of the organisms which die and they decompose, in that manner also carbons get accumulated in soil. Okay, so carbon, it act as a what? It act as a carbon, means soil, it acts as a carbon sink, means a lot of carbon which can be, freely roaming around in the atmosphere. Actually soil holds that down, and because of that, definitely we know that if carbon dioxide, it will increase, and atmosphere, that will leads to global warming, right? So but soil, it attaches that, okay. So carbon farming promotes sustainable land management practice that removes atmospheric carbon and store it into the soil. So it is actually, it is conserving the environment as well. So for that we have come up with some programs. For example, Green India Mission is one of the eight missions under the National Action Plan on Climate Change, okay. Aim is to what, is to create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2030. And so that is a major aim. The National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture was launched in 2014-15 as a component of National Action Plan on Climate Change. For what reason? To promote soil health, efficient water use, climate resilient agriculture, and sustainable resource management. Apart from that, we have National Mission on Natural Farming also, that has been launched in 2024. This is your scheme. You must have studied it in scheme, or in further you will read it over there, okay. To reduce the input cost, improve soil health, and promote environmentally responsible farming. Bio input resource centers provide inputs such as bijamrit and jivamrit, along with training and demonstration. Bijamrit is basically your seeds, okay, competent seeds, and Jeevamrit is related to your biopesticides, okay. Then we have carbon credit trading system that was adopted in 2023. In this, basically what happens, very from basic example, if I tell you that if there is country A and country B, okay, both have been allotted 100 tons of carbon to release in a year, okay. So now what can happen, for example, there are various methods in which this exchange of carbon credit can happen. But if I tell you very basic concept, if A released 110 carbon credit and B released only 90 carbon credit, so B is left with 10 carbon credit more, right? Which A can use. Okay. So now what happens, if A has usually, generally they have they have exceeded this carbon limit, they have to give a very very heavy penalty. Okay. But apart from that, what they can do, they can just buy from B 10 carbon credit from very comparatively very very less amount, okay, lesser amount. And then they can show that they have means they have purchased 10 carbon credit, and hence cumulatively, which was 200 carbon that needs to be released, so ton carbon release, that is overall 200 only that is released, okay. So in this manner, how this helps, so here first of all, countries will try not to exceed their carbon credit limit, so that what will happen, otherwise they would have to pay heavy penalty. And on the other hand, it will promote the countries also to exhale very less amount, so that what, to release very less amount, I'm sorry, so that what can happen, that they can sell the remaining carbon credit. So it's a very good system, okay. This is the carbon credit trading system basically, okay. To incentivize activities that reduce, avoid, and remove the greenhouse gas emission, okay. One carbon credit represent 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide equivalent to reduce, avoided, and removed. I hope you have gotten the concept as well, okay. Apart from that, to conserve soil, soil health card scheme has also been released, because usually this is how soil health card it looks like. So usually what the major problem which farmers were facing, that for every problem of soil they had just one answer, that is urea. But urea can only provide nitrogen to the soil. But what if there are other, because there are essential 17 nutrients that are lacking, okay. So if any other nutrient was lacking, how would urea help in that, right? So and because of toxicity of urea, that would have negative impact on the soil as well, okay. So that is why this soil health card scheme was released. Under this, whatever happens, whenever the farmer is trying to grow new crops, so first they have a proper checkup of this particular of the soil that they have, and it will highlight everything, that what nutrients are currently present, what type of crop does can the soil promote as of now. So this is a very good initiative. Next is about fertilizer management reform. So for that, what nutrient based subsidy has been promoted by the government, okay. And majorly this is what needs to be taken care of. Direct benefit transfer to the in case of fertilizer is given to the industries, okay. Next up we have Khet Bachao Abhiyan. So that has been recently done, okay. So where the motive was to promote the soil test based nutrient management, again awareing farmers about the soil health card. Okay, green manuring. Okay, green manuring, say what happens, they act as a mulch and they also add nutrients into the soil. Biofertilizer alternative to excess chemical fertilizer. So this was under recently done under the Khet Bachao Abhiyan. Geospatial soil mapping. Okay, soil mapping is very important to understand what type of soil exists and what type of cultivation can be done over there. Digital agriculture and agri stack integrate soil, farmer, land, crop information to provide targeted agriculture advisories. And then how using AI. Okay, so Krishi decision support system. So this is again a type of system. Okay, portal combines soil, crop, and weather data to generate location specific advisories. Again, how beautifully we are utilizing the AI into the agriculture usage. Okay, AI based soil diagnostic use satellites, remote sensing, and farm level data to identify nutrient deficiency and soil stress which is occurring in that location, and then subsequently working on it. Precision farming enables site specific application of water and fertilizers, reduce cost that will be spent on irrigation and environmental impact, definitely, because we are conserving water as well. AI system support crop selection, sowing time decision, nutrient management, robotic soil sampling, that would help. Okay, so these were only the news. I do understand today can be very, data or intense news that were there, but some days those are simpler news, some days we have like this, right? So let's do questions to look at how much have you retained. As per July 2026, what is the full form of Bharat Vistar? Okay, so you have to tell the full form. So here the correct answer is option number C, virtually integrated system to access agriculture resources. Coming to the next question, the deep data mobile application was developed under which mission? Okay, so this has been recently made up by CMFRI, and that is under the deep this is wrong. Okay, I'll provide you in the PDF that will get in the Telegram channel. Right answer will be there. It is under the deep ocean mission. Okay. Next up we have, which of the following is not among the major cold fisheries species that is identified for development? So among the following options जो आपकी रोहू है, that is not under it. So we have rainbow trout, golden mahseer, and snow trout that will be focused majorly under your cold water fisheries. Next up, as per the recent news, the Green India mission aims to create an additional carbon sink of how much carbon equivalent by 2030. So as per this particular mission, 2.5 से 3 billion tons तक का it is expected. Next question is, which of the following bio inputs are supplied through bio input resources center under the national mission of natural farming? So in that we have already understood, it is your Bijamrit and Jivamrit. Okay, so now there's a homework for you all. Which system combines soil, crop, and weather data to integrate location specific agriculture advisories? So that is your homework. That is all in this video. If you, for more such questions, you can, for more such videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to get the PDF of this and every lecture that we provide here on YouTube, you can join a Telegram channel, the link of which it is given in the description box below. I wish you all